We all face mountains in life, obstacles that seem too big, too heavy, and too overwhelming. But what if the biggest mountain you'll ever face isn't outside of you, but inside? That's the premise of Brianna Wiest's book, The Mountain Is You, Transforming Self-Sabotage into Self-Mastery, published in 2020. Wiest argues that self-sabotage is often the root of our struggles. We procrastinate, avoid, and destroy our own progress, not because we're lazy or broken, but because we haven't healed, grown, or faced our deeper fears. The book's message is both confronting and liberating. You are the mountain, and by climbing it, by facing yourself, you can transform your life. Welcome to 10-Minute Books, the channel where we break down the world's most powerful books into practical lessons you can absorb in just 10 minutes. Today, we're diving into The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest, a guide to understanding self-sabotage, healing emotional wounds, and mastering yourself so you can reach your fullest potential. The core idea: self-sabotage is unmet need. Wiest argues that self-sabotage isn't irrational. It's your subconscious protecting you from perceived threats, even if those threats aren't real. Procrastination, fear of success, toxic relationships. All of these patterns are ways your inner self tries to stay safe. The problem is that these outdated defense mechanisms keep you stuck. To grow, you need to understand what your self-sabotage is trying to protect you from and replace it with healthier strategies. Why we self-sabotage. Self-sabotage happens when our conscious desires conflict with our subconscious needs. For example, you might want success, but deep down you fear failure, rejection, or visibility. You might want love, but subconsciously fear abandonment or betrayal. Wiest explains that until we resolve these inner conflicts, we'll keep undermining ourselves. Self-sabotage isn't weakness, it's misdirected self-protection, the role of emotional intelligence. At the heart of transformation is emotional intelligence. Wiest defines this as the ability to understand your emotions, manage them, and use them to guide your growth. Instead of suppressing feelings, she urges readers to sit with them, learn from them, and use them as signals. Anxiety might point to areas where you need safety. Anger might reveal where boundaries have been crossed. Sadness might highlight what you need to release. The mountain metaphor. The mountain represents everything you're avoiding: your fears, your pain, your unhealed wounds, and your resistance. Climbing the mountain means facing these truths instead of running from them. Wiest writes that the mountain you're facing is not blocking your path. It is your path. By climbing it, you become the stronger version of yourself you've always needed to be. Facing fear. Fear plays a huge role in self-sabotage. We fear failure, but we also fear success. Success can mean responsibility, visibility, and change, all of which can feel unsafe. Wiest suggests that the key is not to eliminate fear, but to move forward with it. Fear often points to the areas where growth is waiting. Letting go of the old self. Transformation requires letting go of your old identity, the version of you who stayed small, played safe, and avoided risk. That version of you protected you in the past, but it can't take you to the future you want. Wiest acknowledges that letting go can feel like grief, but the reward is creating space for the new, empowered version of yourself to emerge. Healing and growth. Self-sabotage is often rooted in unhealed wounds, childhood trauma, rejection, failure. These experiences create beliefs that you're unworthy, unsafe, or incapable. Healing means challenging those beliefs and proving to yourself, through action and compassion, that you are capable and worthy. Growth is the process of replacing old survival patterns with intentional, conscious choices. The importance of self-trust. Self-sabotage thrives on a lack of trust. If you don't trust yourself to handle failure, you avoid trying. If you don't trust yourself to survive heartbreak, you avoid intimacy. Building self-trust comes from keeping promises to yourself. Each time you follow through, even in small ways, you prove to yourself that you can rely on you. This is the foundation of self-mastery. Reframing failure. Wiest redefines failure as feedback. Each mistake or setback isn't evidence that you're broken, it's data. It shows what doesn't work, what needs adjustment, and where growth lies. By reframing failure as part of the process, you stop fearing it and start using it as fuel. Creating alignment. The ultimate goal is alignment when your conscious desires and subconscious beliefs support each other instead of clash. In this state, you're no longer sabotaging yourself because your whole being is moving in the same direction. Alignment doesn't mean everything is easy. It means your energy is focused, your actions are consistent, and your values are clear. Practical tools. Wiest offers several practical tools for transformation, journaling to uncover hidden fears and beliefs, practicing mindfulness to stay aware of emotions, setting boundaries to protect your energy, visualizing your higher self and asking, what would that version of me do? These tools help you stop acting from old wounds and start living from conscious choice. The power of choice. One of the most empowering lessons in the book is that every day you have a choice. Stay stuck in patterns of sabotage or take small steps toward growth. The mountain isn't conquered in one leap. It's climbed step by step, decision by decision. Case studies and stories. Throughout the book, Wiest shares examples of people transforming self-sabotage. A woman who feared rejection learned to build self-worth from within. A man who procrastinated for years finally faced his fear of failure and started his dream career. These stories show that change is possible for anyone willing to climb their mountain. Criticism and balance. Some critics argue that Wiest leans too much into abstract or spiritual language, which may not resonate with everyone. Others feel the book repeats certain themes. But many readers find the repetition powerful because self-sabotage itself is repetitive. Breaking it requires consistent reminders and practice. Modern relevance. In today's world of distraction, fear, and self-doubt, the mountain is you feels especially relevant. Many people know what they want, but can't seem to follow through. Wiest's message that self-sabotage is a signal to heal and grow offers both compassion and challenge. The big takeaway. The Mountain is You teaches that the obstacles you face aren't external enemies. The real mountain is within your fears, your wounds, your resistance. By facing yourself, healing, and building self-trust, you turn self-sabotage into self-mastery. The question is, are you avoiding your mountain, or are you ready to climb it? That was The Mountain is You by Brianna Wiest, broken down in under 20 minutes. Which idea resonates most with you? The concept of alignment, the role of fear, or the practice of building self-trust? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this summary, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to 10-Minute Books, and ring the bell so you never miss our weekly breakdowns of life-changing books. Thanks for watching, and remember, the mountain in your way is also the path forward. The climb is how you become who you're meant to be.